You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Good evening, everyone, and hey, how you doing? Hey, welcome to the Pace Radio Show. We're live here at paceradio.net and Pace 420pace.ca. And so, how's things? You look like you're a little bit bobble-headed there.
I'm just
dancing to the music.
Just dancing to the music because it's my. I get 4 days off now, so I can be tired.
4 days.
I don't go back to work till Monday at 3:00.
Oh, wow.
I took some time off. My birthday's on Friday. So I took some time off. I took a day off before so I could actually clean this dump and get it ready. And people come because I did throw an invite out to people if you want to come in, after 8, because, the usual is everybody's always got other plans because it's Valentine's Day. So I'm calling it, if the other plans and the people that, don't have plans, 55, I can't drive 55, 80s inspired. I went and bought way too much money worth of fucking 80s candy say at work. Pop rings and nerds and, some rolled gold chocolate covered pretzels. I'm going to put, because I'm not feeding people. I was going to make pulled pork tacos and I thought it was going out for dinner and shit before. I'm not feeding people. I'll have some ketchup chips out. You bring your own booze, bring a lawn chair because I got no furniture. I'll have some ketchup chips, some chips and dip, and that's it. And some candy.
Yeah, there you go. Medicated candy?
Yeah, I've got some chocolate actually because here was the dream of a chocolate maker, right?
Right.
We had a bunch of white chocolate chips go outdated at work. Like 30 bags of them.
Wow. 30 bags? Threw out 30 bags of chocolate?
Oh, they didn't get thrown out. They came straight into my car.
Oh.
I know that stuff. She doesn't throw stuff out.
They were tossing it out, but you were
box and said, "Hey, you want these?" I said, "Fuck yeah!" There was 2 butterscotch, and the rest were all white chocolate. Right? But with white chocolate, you can add a little bit of flavor and food color and medicine.
Well, yeah. Well, what was it? Was it just best before date had passed, or
yeah? And there's nothing wrong with it, but we can't sell it.
Because it doesn't say expire. It just says best before.
Best before, right? So anything
and you make medicated chocolates out of it. It's a whole new thing.
And chocolate chips, using chocolate chips, I find they don't melt at room temperature.
No, they don't. No.
But chocolate wafers will melt at room temperature. So I've never used chocolate chips before, ever. I usually go to the farm and I go get the wafers and, I'm going to do everything right? I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
I'm not the way that worked out just beautifully. Like I just plopped them in the molds and I put them in the fridge for 20 minutes and then I took them in bags to work, right? Thinking, this will be the test. They didn't melt at all.
They melt, yeah. Because it's the type of chocolate and what they put into it. I think there's some type of wax and other
whatever. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. It's the fucking cat's ass. Easy peasy. Drop fucking few drops of tincture or fucking some RSO and boom, baby, you're ready to go.
Yeah, I used to when I lived in Campbellford, I could walk up the street to the chocolate store. Like literally, it was like within 5 minutes of my house. And their chocolate, it would melt in your hand.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to leave it out in the summertime near a window or anything.
That's why I never made much chocolate because anytime I've ever made them, I do it in the wintertime. I could only ship in the winter. Anytime in the summertime, they would be kept in the fridge all the time. It was just. And I was using the Belgian chocolate. Like I go to the bulk barn, buy the good Belgian chocolate or the good like wafers and stuff. Melt it all down. Make sure I tempered it properly. I did all the right things.
Yeah, well, I found too it wasn't so much the chocolate; it would melt in your hand. But once I infused it, and put the coconut oil in it, then it was something that you had to keep it in the fridge.
Well, coconut oil and chocolate don't mix because oil is like putting water with oil.
Oh, I don't
I
know.
never
I always
used
mixed
that.
it that way.
I know I've never used coconut oil. I always with my chocolate. I've always used either an alcohol tincture. Well, you
Yeah.
have to put the alcohol because the alcohol will seize the chocolate, or just straight up RSO. I've never used an oil because I've tried
Oh,
using
yeah.
oil-based tinctures, and all it did was float
I,
like
I've
top of
used
chocolate.
I've used butter. I've used coconut oil.
No, I've never done that because I always found that if I did it, sat like a grease on top of the chocolate. Like it looked like the chocolate
Oh,
had separated.
yeah. No, I never.
But I didn't
No.
know that. I've got a great big thing of coconut oil in the cupboard that I'm not sure is any good because it melted right down to like liquid sugar, and then
Well,
it
yeah, if it's MCT oil, it's supposed
no,
to
it's
be liquid, or it
coconut
could
oil. Like
because
coconut, but like it's Kirkland coconut butter. Like it's when
it's
it's
that
solidified,
supposed
it's
to
white.
be the solid white stuff. Yeah, yeah, I don't use that.
See, and that's what somebody brought me. And I've never opened it. It's in my cupboard. It's probably best
Yeah,
before date. It's probably been expired. I think it's been in there 3 years. But in the summertime, it got so hot that it actually was
taking up
liquid.
space.
And now it's winter. It's white and solid again. So I don't know if it's any good. I've never used coconut oil, to be honest. I'm not a
Oh,
fan
have
of
you? Oh, once I started using the coconut oil, the MCT oil, to
MCT oil. I don't mind that, but coconut, I don't like the flavor. It's got a flavor to
yeah,
it.
that white solid stuff. No, I don't use it either. But I use the other stuff because then you can use it for lotions, salves. Use it in your baked goods. You can use it to cook with.
Oh, the MCT oil, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's got.
Yeah, you can add anything to that. You can add your
Oh,
essential oil to that rather than
yeah.
because it's got absolutely no flavor, right? And it's food grade. Another thing I'm not real a big fan is the vegetable glycerin. I think it's too thick. It's almost like a
I
I'm
have
not a
done
fan.
that several
Daryl
times.
Daryl's tinctures are made with vegetable glycerin. No disrespect to him or whatever. I just find
Right.
that I can't for baking if I'm using like them in a cake or cookie or something like that,
Mhm.
if they're fine. But I can't use them in my candy because it's too thick,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I found that because I tried infusing vegetable glycerin, like believe me, when I would first started making candy and was told, figure it out for your fucking self. I went through infusing fucking everything to try and make those fucking candy, right? To the point that I was
Right.
actually like mixing the fucking like the alcohol with the sugar and whatever on the stove and mixing that with the oil together. Like it was like I was making it dangerously, right? Like putting
I just just melt the chocolate
then I just
down.
started melting shatter into it. And
Yeah.
now it's like, yeah, so it's either shatter or oil because then it's safer.
Yeah. I
I was
use a
the
double
experiment.
boiler. I use a double boiler.
Yeah,
Put some water on in the first
yeah,
pot and
yeah,
just melt the chocolate down and
yeah.
yeah, throw some
Yeah,
stuff
that's what I
in
did.
there and
That's what I did with the chocolate chips. Like it's the same process, but I just like I said, I have like one of my lovely sponsors from for the program sent me a
right,
bottle of 1,000 milligram tincture with it's made with MCT oil, right?
right.
So each droplet's 1,000 milligrams, right?
Yeah.
So I made it was 2 bags of chocolate chips, so that's 2 cups of chocolate, right? Because they're 250 milligrams each. I put 3 droplets of the tincture into the 2 cups of chocolate, and I
Yeah.
made 30 chocolates.
Yeah, how'd everybody like them?
Well, they're still sleeping.
Oh, well, they sound like they're effective.
I
No,
can't,
sleep is good. Sleep is good. Sleep helps us
right?
rest. It helps us
Yeah,
heal.
like I
Right?
said, they're still
So,
sleeping. But I tell people like I'm not sure how strong they really are because if you do the
right.
math, I would think they're about 300 milligrams each.
Yeah.
3,000, 30. It could be 30 milligrams or 300 milligrams. I'm not sure. Take your pick, but they're pretty big
Yeah.
because they're not big. Like they're not big chocolate. They're little hearts, like about this big too.
Oh, okay.
They're not big chocolates, like so. And I only made 30 of them, so because the chocolate, like you know,
Yeah, I make
want
my
to make
chocolates in different molds and different shapes and stuff.
like
I
so
haven't
many.
made them in quite a while, but
I invested a lot
because the chocolate store closed, and I haven't found a reliable source that I had before.
chips, man. They're the cat's house. Like they're quick, easy, and fucking, and they don't melt in your hand.
Just good old chocolate chips from the bulk store, from wherever store.
Like I said, I've never tried it before, but I thought I'd just give it a whirl because
I've gone and got the discs,
right?
And maybe it just tastes different.
No, they don't taste bad at all. Like I didn't find it. Like I'm not a big white chocolate fan, but like I said, because it's white chocolate, I could add a pumpkin pie spice to it, like just a drop, right? or I could add just a drop of red food dye too, and just mix it in with it, so I could make red ones with red velvet chocolate. Like I got all these flavors.
You could make all different colored ones,
right? And I could also make different flavored because it's white chocolate, so I can add anything to that vanilla because it's a vanilla flat.
Depending on the season.
Yeah.
On color you make.
Well, I'm gonna make a bunch of like unmedicated ones for my bosses because and I don't work, so I'm just gonna throw them together, take them down there on Friday because she gave me a birthday present.
Right. Now, are they something that these chocolates that you can help with your CSP program?
That's what they were for. That's why like the chocolates being all like those chocolate chips being all free, and I've still got stuff for the program. Like I still have like that tincture wasn't meant for me, right? That tincture wasn't meant for the program. So those chocolates are meant for program, not so much for me, right? Like and the chocolate chips are free. They're donations, right? So that all goes to the program.
Good. I've
had 20 people this week. Like I don't even have to go out to the tent city. Like I can
there because you're helping so many people that are coming to your door.
So many people offsite. I don't even need to go to tent city. I'm not kidding you. I took 20 bags to work this week. They're all gone.
Oh.
I take 5 bags to work with me every day out, and I don't come home with any of them.
Wow, really? Eh? Wow.
Alcohol is a huge fucking issue in this town.
Mm-hmm.
With our young men, especially the ages 35 to 45. These guys are all drunk, and I have one of them that like come in, and her husband has been charged with drunk driving causing vehicular death. There was an accident a few years ago, and he's just been charged like 2 years later. But they've charged him with they charged him with homicide for a car accident because he was impaired, right?
Well, that'd be like gifting, really. They're allowed to gift cannabis.
It's no more than what I put in.
It's
bag is what I'm giving to the tent city. These people are like they come to me because they've heard of me. I don't seek them out. They come into the store and go, "Hey, so I heard about your substitution program. Like, I've got can you help me out?" And I usually say, "Yeah, just give me 2 minutes," and I deal with the customer. But I've got a cup. My bosses let me put a cup there for donations. It's no secret that I work there and that that people give me money at this. Like, I got a cup at the store for donations. Right? Like, my bosses are my bosses give me stuff for the program. Like, and the cops come in there. Bob Roy's one of our regular customers. He's a cop I've known since I was 22 years old. Like he knows exactly what I'm doing. They don't care. In fact, you're not. Yeah, because you know what you're doing. You're keeping down the ODs.
Correct. Yeah, and we see that basically almost every week when we gather up news about the benefits of cannabis as a substitution. Now, they don't go out and say it's a cannabis substitution program, but they'll talk about how the fact that opiates are being reduced in states that have legalized, prescriptions are down, all that type of stuff.
But no, users are using 20 points a day. They're using 1 point a day to the point that I had one of the sellers come into the store and say blah blah blah, and I looked at them and went, "Why do you need some help too? I can give you a bag too if you like."
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to cut your grass. I'm not selling anybody anything.
No, yeah.
And I don't seek them out. They come to me, and I have to tell the kids, "I'm sorry, I can't sell you a lighter, nor can I give you any weed."
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But yeah, like I said, it's 20 a week, and like I said, I was down 1 because she went away. But
you're fortunate to have supporting bosses.
Yeah, well, for sure.
For sure.
And the place has got cameras. Like if they really wanted to, do anything, it's not like it's all in a brown paper bag. It's not like you can see what I'm
getting a wave.
Hey. But yeah, like you have those little brown bags with the handles that I've got out. Like they're all packed bags. It's not like you can I'm advertising that I'm handing out whatever. right? It's in a brown bag. Nobody knows what it is. Could be anything.
Good crack. Yeah, exactly.
It could be
There's
under
stories about those brown bags, though.
Yeah, we got some brown bags, but again, like I said,
Yeah,
like it
brown
could be
bags.
just a toothbrush. It could be some deodorant and some socks. Like you don't know
Yeah,
what's in that bag.
yeah, exactly.
Last time I looked, it was still legal in cannabis to give away 28 grams.
It is. It is. It's that's what I said to you earlier. You're bringing those 5 in that you're giving out at the store, giving them to people is gifting them, and
Yes,
you're
and
well under your limit as far as giving them
even
or
though 5
gifting them.
bags is under, they're 10 grams in total, all 5 bags.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually got out to Dirty Darts on the weekend. Oh, that was immaculate. So we sold some candy.
Oh, excellent.
I was able to actually get some more cannabis for the program.
Nice.
And I
Nice.
checked out Icy Pot, and Icy Pot's now available at Dirty Darts,
Oh, there you go. There you
right?
go.
And they want more candy because they're almost out. So people
Oh,
are coming back and actually liking it. So yeah, I
crap.
was able to turn that into another couple ounces for the program.
Nice.
I was pretty happy. I hadn't been out there for a month, right? I figured the last time I went
Right.
out there, they had only sold a few bags, and I had to throw some
Well, that's
money
the
in.
thing, go out once a month. Don't worry about going out every week. Go
That's
out
what
once a
I'm
month.
not. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna have to make candy in this next like the days that I'm off here, and then go out this weekend and take her some more stuff. But like I said, every dime of that goes towards the program.
No, I was assuming.
And that stuff that I gave out or that I picked up last weekend when I went out there is pretty much gone because I gave it all away this week.
Yeah, gone.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it turns over. Like it's not like it sticks around long. I still have some of the anonymous donor from Ontario's tucked away. I still
Oh
have
yeah.
one left. Yeah. I've been kind of saving that just kind of as backup in case, things didn't work out there. So I've got
Right.
that stuff so I can still I'm still not out of everything. We're
No,
going on.
yeah, you're making it last, and you're still dealing with people, helping people, and also the fact that your Saturdays have been reduced due to the extreme cold and the people being moved inside, right?
Well, when the
So,
two showed up last night, one wasn't even wearing a coat. I gave him
oh,
shit because he wasn't wearing a coat. I says, "Where?"
yeah.
It was minus when I got up this morning. It was minus 22.
Oh, well, it was well
This
into the
coat wide
minuses,
open,
and you were standing there with no
and
coat.
he was wearing a fucking hoodie. His face and his hands were so red. I said, "Man, you need to get a coat. Where can I get you a coat?" I went to hand him my coat, and he's huge, like he's 6 foot
Yeah,
tall. He's a big guy. My coat wouldn't have fit him, right? But I wanted to
right.
give him my coat because I said, "What happened to your coat?" And he said, "I had a real." He goes, "You don't even want to know." He goes, "This town's gone fucking crazy." He says, "Shit's gone down," and I don't know what. And they didn't want to let me know what they're anyway. They both look
Right.
fucked right up. He goes, "You wouldn't happen to have it." I says, "You know what? Matter of fact, I do." I went and grabbed 2 bags because there were still of them and handed them. And actually threw in a couple extra chocolates. Like, "Oh, you guys need some extra chocolate."
Yes,
Because
yeah. You're not driving around with coats, unfortunately,
no,
at
they're
this
not
time.
driving. They're walking. And it
No,
was
I
my
mean you, as far as
fault.
you having coats available.
No, I didn't have
And
anything. I don't have a
yeah,
coat. I had
and
some.
coats are expensive to buy, even to be able to donate them.
I haven't had much donations. Like I said, my jar at work has got about $10 in it. I'm not taking it. It's just
Yeah,
change.
and really, as you've said before, like you're looking at the addiction end of things, helping people that way.
Yeah, and I mean,
You
the thing is too,
you're not trying to, if you can help them out with clothing, great. But if you can't,
yeah,
well,
I
yeah,
had, like I said, I've got some toques and stuff but they're
right,
ladies too. Like
correct.
they're pink. I can't, like I said, and these 2 I've given 5 toques to already. Like these 2 are 2 that
Oh,
were out in the park. They've already had several
they've
toques.
already had their toques, eh?
They've had toques. They've had probably 2 pairs of socks for the last 10 weekends I was out there. Like, but again, they're so transient and they move so much that you can give them the same stuff every weekend and they've lost it already, right?
Lost it, or it's got,
As soon as you
it's
scroll it
rained
or
or
whatever,
snowed or something, and it's gotten
and it's
wet,
destroyed.
and
Yeah,
you can't
exactly.
dry it. And,
Right. So just a matter of like you have no expectations. Like I went out the one weekend, the one week behind McDonald's, and was told that they never got anything, and the guy was selling it. And then I ran into that guy. He goes, "They all got their stuff," and everybody else that
uh,
was there was saying they go. I said, "Yeah, like that's why I came and talked to you rather than listening to all the bullshit because I know everybody just talks shit." Because you're all a bunch of yeah, I get it because I used to be like not there, but Alex talks shit. Everybody talks shit about everybody. It's just the way the drugs work. The drugs just totally make it like everybody's out to get you. The paranoia, right? Everybody's against you. Everybody's gonna steal from you. It's the total paranoia. The world is against you, and that's the drugs. So even your best friend's out to get you because the drugs tell you so, right? It's just the drugs. And I hate to say that, but that's what the drugs do to them. They fuck their brains right up.
Yeah.
It's sad.
So.
It's really sad. But yeah, no, like I said, that's been like an ongoing thing. Like like even though if I'm not going out to the park, and I've got my one friend now that she said she can go with me on a regular. I've got Pete that will go with me all the time.
Oh, good. So
but not
you found someone that can
right,
do that?
Yeah, like so when it gets warmer, but like I said, at -15, they put them into warming stations. They
Well,
actually
yeah, if they're not there, correct.
right?
Yeah.
And I could probably like apparently they're just down at the end of the block here at this Alliance Church. I thought they were down at the other end. I could probably go down to this church and in the back parking lot and help them out if I wanted to, because they're a block away. And that's a low barrier. Like I know probably who's working there. I could probably just go in there and hand bags out right in there. I'd have to go check that out.
Oh, there you go. Well, check it out.
Yeah. I mean, I never stopped checking.
Yeah.
Like it's fun. It's
fun.
really fun. It is. It's not even like it's not even the fact that you get to meet new people and stuff all the time, because you do, but it's just fun to just see the looks on their faces and feel the gratitude, I guess.
Yeah.
It gives you a warm fuzzy and then when you don't want
knowing that you're helping people.
Yeah, and they said I don't want their thanks. So I said I don't want your thanks. Yeah. This is my pleasure. Like just take what you go and take what you need. You know, like
yeah, you know, just don't take advantage of me, and I can still, you know, help along here. And
well, that's it. And but you have to stay kind of clinical too. You don't want to get too close because people die. And
there's the emotional end of it all. That's for sure. Yeah.
So you have to kind of keep arm's length to a point, but that's tough too, right? Especially when you see them every weekend.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and they talk to you.
Or they just come into the store because they haven't seen you, and they're like, "Where have you been?" Because they all know, like, Cranbrook's small, right? Like they can walk from where they like the tent city to my store in 20 minutes. It's that like that's how small this town is. Like you can walk from one end to another in 20 minutes. It's not a big city, right?
Not a big place.
So if they really want to find me, they'll just walk. They're not shy about walking because they have no other way of getting around anyways. Or some of them have bikes, right?
Yeah.
And in the summertime, we have scooters that they leave on the street. So when the scooters come, I won't have to go anywhere. They'll just ride to me. I get it. I get why Surrey has to stay in one location, and because Surrey's like you could fit Cranbrook and Surrey 3 times, right? Like even Langley,
really?
Like, bigger. Like that's the coast. Like Cranbrook is like 20,000.
I've never been to BC, so I know approximately the size.
We're a little town in like not like Hamlet Village, but we're like I said, 20,000 people as you're going through Mountain Valley, and there's mountains on both sides of us, and you drive in one town. You can only come in one way and go out one way. The strip. So we got highway.
You're a little smaller. I think you're a little smaller than Belleville, which is half an hour, 45 minutes south of me. So
we're pretty small.
Yeah,
we have one mall. We have one mall. One mall. I mean, we have what?
Well, they have one big mall. They have strip malls.
No, we got one mall.
Well, maybe Belleville's a little bigger, still bigger than you.
Yeah, we have one big mall, and that big mall's not even that big.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like it's got a Winners and a Canadian Tire, and there's like maybe.
Well, you got Canadian Tire. It sounds like you're just a big Campbellford.
we got Walmart. We got Superstore.
Walmart. We got a Walmart.
But it's not a super Walmart. It's just like it's got a grocery store part, but it's not huge.
Right.
But but we've got that. We've got a superstore. We've got Safeway, Sobeys. We've got everything you need. We got every restaurant, like fast food restaurant, that you could ever want down the strip, because it's transient, right? We're on the Highway 3.
On the highway, heading through. So it's a spot where people will stop in, spend the night, and then move on.
Yeah, we've got lakes around us. They'll stay in Cranbrook in the summer with the lakes. We've got ski hills in Kimberley and Fernie. And Kimberley's 35 kilometers away. Fernie's an hour and a half away. So we get a lot of, and then Creston, Nelson, like we're kind of like you have to come through Cranbrook to get there, right? From Alberta. Right. Or you can go Calgary on the highway, Trans-Canada Highway, which is up through Calgary, which is north of us. But
the highway. Go ahead, finish up.
It's just a busy highway too.
Just busy. Yeah. When we go to break, when we get back from break, I'm going to talk about Calgary. What's going on in Calgary should be happening across Canada as far as I'm concerned. So.
Well, Calgary had the first hemp fest many years ago.
Yeah, I know. There's more than just that. So.
Well, I can go to Calgary like in 4 hours. I can be in
Can you? Can you? Good.
I lived in Calgary. I lived in Calgary.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah. Yeah. All right. It's time for us to take a break. I see it's the bottom of the hour.
Woohoo!
All right. You're watching the Pace Radio Show, and we are live here at paceradio.net and 420pace.ca. We'll be back in about 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Right on.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace re-rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Are you looking to get your medical cannabis grow license? Limestone City Hydroponics can help patients through the process of obtaining their license to grow medical cannabis. What's that? You don't have a doctor? If you meet the medical criteria, Limestone City Hydroponics has a nurse practitioner who can assess and provide medical cannabis prescriptions. What are you waiting for? Contact Limestone City Hydroponics at limestonecityhydroponics.ca or call them at 613-548-0420.
Pace Radio is the people advocating cannabis education radio network.
Legacy 420 have an awesome array of cannabis-infused beverages, from pop to Nature's Nectar's teas, all in amazing flavors. What a selection! We even have a delicious mango-infused juice, and let me tell you, it's delicious.
Everything is infused in-house, so we buy our syrup from the same place where everybody else buys their syrup for their pop, and the infusion is done in the lab. It's all canned here, labeled here, produced 100% on Tyndonega.
We have two lines of drinks. One is called our Nature's Nectar. That was our original line that we came out with. And then we also have a line under the Ready brand. We have them in 10 milligrams, 30 milligram, and 60 milligram cans.
What a great selection for a get-together with friends or after a long day. Remember, if you want to wet your whistle with on-site lab-tested products, come see your trusted partner. Legacy 420 out on your road.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Hey, we're back, and as always, we're live. I got the fire going over break time. I was looking over there. We have a little fan on the top that runs off the heat, right?
That is so
awesome.
awesome.
And it's not going very fast, so that's telling me the fire is not doing very good.
Oh no. Yeah, and I wish my grandparents would have never taken the fireplace. Like, we've got the fireplace here, the chimney, and that's all gone, and you can't use it as a wood burner anymore. And I'm not sure why. I don't know if it was because the chimney came off the side of the house and it was a safety thing.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows?
This town has bylaws where they had to cut down the clothesline.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Before the break, you mentioned Calgary, and I said I was going to discuss Calgary when we got back. And this is and something that it's not only Calgary, it's the province of Alberta, and I think it was last year. Maybe this article tells me. No, it doesn't. But last year, it was last year. The Alberta government is allowing cannabis to be available at adult-only events.
Yeah.
So it's required for wherever the municipality to reach out to the province for approval on these things. So Calgary has done that. They've just recently announced that they've reached out. So if you have, for example, you have a cannabis event, like we have cannabis events in Toronto and all that, like Lyft, or I don't know even if Lyft is even going on. They would allow it so that you could actually receive cannabis at the event. Whereas presently, other than the bud sampling, we can't do that here in Ontario.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, would it be like retail sales, or would it be sampling? Would it be
retail sales? Now
how can you make that with alcohol? Like, can you have alcohol sales and cannabis sales at the same place?
At the same event, maybe, but not in the same area. Probably not the same area. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe not. I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt it, because you know what? They're buck wild out there. They'll do anything.
And I could see where they would separate them, where they weren't together. I think that's something to do with the federal end too, as far as having them combined. But
I've always never like, if you can have a wine bar, why can't you have a cannabis bar?
Well, yeah, that's where the lounges come in. That's
right, exactly. Like cannabis beverages, like have it like you have a wine lounge. Why can't you have a cannabis beverage lounge?
Yeah, why can't you have an establishment that was able to sell everything from herb to cannabis edibles?
Right, come in and have a brownie and a whatever cup of whatever tea, have a little puff. Yeah, lounges like we for less.
You can order some spaghetti with that's got like 5 milligrams of THC in it.
So you're talking we're talking like a bistro license. You're talking like maybe I should move back to Alberta.
Maybe. But yeah, they are going to allow. I know I think it was the Stampede. They had this going on.
Yeah, they did.
And what it was, you would order your cannabis online from the store that was involved in the event, and then they would deliver it to you at the event.
Yeah,
it's a start.
You can get it delivered in BC now too. Like I can phone up or go online, and within 20 minutes, my local guy will bring it to my store.
Yeah. You can do that here in Ontario in spots as well.
But for you to be able to actually
but I don't know if you can actually.
You can adult only consume it. That would be like a restaurant or a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like 18 plus. That's like the sky's the limit on that. When it comes to adult only, right? All you have to be is over like 18's Alberta is legal age, right?
Right.
So 18 and over, right? So that could be a bistro where it's only adults allowed. And that's the thing. Even bars in British Columbia allow children in them till they're 9 o'clock at night. Like pubs and stuff here in British, your kids can come into them till 9 o'clock. But you cannot take your kid you can take your kid into the liquor store in British Columbia, but you cannot take your kid into a BC or a pot store.
No, eh?
Or a vape juice store.
No, we can't. Yeah, we can't take kids in. We can't take kids into stores either here.
You can take your kids in a liquor store.
Oh, liquor store, we can, sure.
Right, but you can't take them into a nicotine vape store or a fucking pot store.
Yeah, it was a year ago when Alberta changed that.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. Like I said, Alberta's pretty buck wild. Like I said, they privatized liquor and all that kind of stuff years ago. That's why it was so easy for people to open cannabis stores in Alberta, because they're not tied to any provincial, anything. You pay a $2,500 application or non-refundable application fee. You can't have a criminal record, and then you can serve, deliver, do whatever the fuck you want with liquor. Open a liquor store. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it says here that city councilors. I jumped the gun a little bit. City councilors are debating this in 2 weeks' time on the 25th of February.
I don't see what the problem would be, but they have advocates from the cannabis community there.
It'd be at festivals and different events and all that.
Well, then those people that are running those things better be at city council to advocate for themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And that's the only thing you can say, because I mean, if it was our community, we would have people there advocating for that to be done. Like I know in Lethbridge, when there was a city council, there was a motion put forward to shut down Bob headquarters in front of city council. And all you needed was one rebuttal, one citizen saying, no, that's ridiculous. You're not doing that. And I'm the one that put the rebuttal into the city council saying, no, that's ridiculous. Because there was some woman that wanted to shut down Bob headquarters, which was the bong store, saying it was being catering to children. And it was just a bunch of ridiculous shit. Right?
Bunch of BS, right?
Yeah, like just, and he wasn't like, I knew the guy personally. He wasn't doing any of that. He wasn't selling to kids.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't like it was any marijuana. It was like it was a ball store. It was glass. It was roach clips. It was paraphernalia. It wasn't any in the store. It was long before legalization. Anyway, so because Southern Alberta Cannabis Club, I put in the rebuttal to City Council to say this is ridiculous. So it never did get passed. It never went through. But it only takes one person to go in and advocate for that kind of thing, right? You don't have to be a group.
Hiccups.
But City Councils are
Yeah, they say that they mentioned some other places, such as where did it go? The Badlands Music Festival and the Calgary Folk Festival. They said at the Folk Festival they actually had a consumption area there.
They had that here at Canafest in Grand Forks.
No, yeah.
The 1 year. And then they had sales, I think, at one point. They were supposed to have sales, and then something happened. And then, it didn't turn out very well. And no, because they had headline names and stuff too, right? Like it was that big rock fest in Grand Forks. And it was called Canafest. And it was Bruce, whatever his name was, that was putting it on. And they wanted to do these things, but there was no legalization yet, right?
Right, okay.
Grand Forks got a little pissy, and so did the cops, and they ended up like shutting down the water in the town so that nobody could have showers, and it just turned into being a shit show. So yeah, because they didn't really advocate for it, and there was like, it was.
They shut down the waters, the municipality, to prevent this event.
Like to the park.
Oh, to the park.
Like to where people would be using the washroom and the showers, like in their downtown area of Grand Forks, because people were coming from the site to use the showers in town.
No, this is a public park,
right? And the town wasn't prepared for it. And there was like thousands of people. It was kind of like,
so then it became a health concern.
Right. But it turned, like I said, it turned out not to be so great, because it was, I think Dana and Cindy went the first year, and they took a bunch of their stuff to sell, and then they were told they couldn't. They were sold a booth like under the presumption that they could do open sales there, and then they were told they couldn't. Yeah, like it was just a bad
experience.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't end up going. But the bands played, and the bands were great, apparently.
Good. So there was a survey that went out, and actually survey. There we go. Quebec is doing a survey, a cannabis survey.
No, not another one.
And apparently this is their annual one. They say it's to understand the perceptions of and experiences of cannabis among people in the province.
And they tell them, Tamanag, we want more weed.
Yeah, we want more than just
like
apricots for
that seems to be Legault's thing, right? Legault likes to oppress people. Like that's his thing.
Yeah. It's targeting people age 15 and over. Why 15? They're not. It's legal. It's not even legal for 15-year-olds.
No, but they target the 15-year-olds because the 15-year-olds take their bongs and go in the park and smoke it. They do. They do. And they take their bongs and they're openly smoking it in the park. So they're not really being targeted. They're putting targets on their backs because they know they're not supposed to be doing it, and they're going They don't
Yeah.
care. And how
So
I know this is because Loretta's granddaughters are probably a couple of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. All
Yeah, we
right.
had some fun with the train
The question
police.
they're going to be asking about the prevalence and frequency of the use of cannabis, what form of cannabis and the methods of consumptions, reasons and contexts of use, sources of supply, and risk of problematic use. So someone's going to decide whether they got a problem or not. They're also going to examine social norms and perceptions towards cannabis driving and use, cannabis consumption during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, we saw the pediatrician last week again, and again, I told him that Taven was using cannabis, and he didn't blink. He went,
Yeah.
"Is it helping?" He looked at Taven and goes, "Is it helping?" And Taven goes, "Yeah, it helps me sleep." And he goes, "All right, then."
All right, and good. It says that the survey results will come out in October, and more details will be available in April.
And they do this once a year.
Yeah, in Quebec. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but I didn't see anything about asking about varieties of products that would be available.
Well, is that justifying the money that they're collecting for taxes? Is that how they're using some of the tax money that they're collecting? Is by doing these stupid surveys and studies that cost billions of dollars? So when you're asked what are they doing with the tax, well, we're taking these surveys for public health, and so they're spending $350,000 to $500,000 on a fucking survey they do once a year that costs the taxpayer, and that's what they're going to say that they're using the taxation of cannabis for.
Oh yeah, that's probably between that and law enforcement.
Just unbelievable. The bureaucratic bullshit. Like, I understand why people just shake their head about the bureaucrats and cutting all the fucking red tape, because some of it is just absolutely ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm liberal, but I still think it's bullshit. Like, who came up with this garbage?
Oh well, here's a. I don't know if you remember, but and this is really something that started years ago. But you're out in BC, but here in Ontario, there was a municipality that was upset about people growing cannabis. So they put in, and this wasn't just recreational cannabis. This was medical cannabis.
I remember that.
So they put in. Hi Cheryl, thanks for the like.
Hi Cheryl. I was just texting with her on my phone.
Were you? Yeah. So this is what's happened with that. After all these, this is 5 years. This has been going on, and they said they were the first location in Canada that took steps to manage personal and designated medical grow licenses. Okay, this is for patients. This isn't. This wasn't for commercial growing.
No, because they didn't like the smell.
People didn't like the smell. Then they said that they said it led to significant enforcement measures and an apparent end to new and similar production sites. They said they destroyed 400,000 cannabis plants. 400,000, I should say.
Patient's medicine.
Yeah.
That's patient's medicine. That's somebody that actually used that for medical purposes. What a bunch of
yeah. It says that under the bylaws that they have to have they say without filtration systems are required to be 300 meters set back from neighboring homes, and those with suitable filtration were required 150 meters. So that's like 500 feet away from a home from your neighbors. You have to live out in the country.
Yeah, there's no possible way of you ever being able to legally grow your plants, because your houses are ticky-tacky boxes of like fucking not even 300 meters apart.
They say the report says that 10 federally licensed. Okay, that was the commercial vehicles, commercial things. They say over 5 years, the bylaws investigated complaints for 130 complaints over 5 years at 80 different locations. In 80 locations were found to be producing cannabis at the time.
One town turned themselves into Nazis in 23 days.
Oh. 40 properties were found to be
bylaws for to fucking oppress their fucking neighbors with.
Yeah. It's just 40 properties were found producing cannabis in violation of zoning, leading to charges. 82 property owners faced 166 charges. Four of these owners were charged twice because they were found to still be growing cannabis after the first charges, and then were laid by county bylaw.
Oh, is this in the States?
No, this is here in Ontario.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's fucking rank. That's like I said. That's
yeah.
That's how one turned towns into Nazis and oppresses their
Oh.
neighbors. And now neighbors owe a bunch of money and have been charged. Charged for what? Are they patients? Do they have paperwork? Like, what the fuck are they being charged with?
There's over $800,000 in fines handed out by the courts. Wow.
I'd be getting a fucking QC and I'd be taking that to the Supreme Court of Canada.
Wow.
No way I'm taking that fucking dry. There's no fucking way.
I remember. I remember a lot of people were screaming about this, saying, "No, they can't do that. They can't do that." And look, those are the results.
I don't understand how they've done that.
No, I know.
I really don't understand how that's even legal. I can't see that absolutely being legal. First of all, it's against your Charter 7 rights because they're patients. If they had legal medical paperwork, they shouldn't even have been in there rating anything. I don't care what your fucking bylaw says. Because a federal law out trumps any bylaw, especially when it's a federal law already. That's a federal program. That federal program trumps your bylaw. So what police force went in and enforced this? Sure the fuck wouldn't have been the RCMP, and if it was, somebody better be looking at them.
Yeah.
There's nothing legal about that. And what judge signed the warrants?
They said that the report estimates that $430 million worth of potential cannabis is destroyed. And based on the estimate of a finished street value of $1,000 per plant.
See, they're not even looking. That's not right. Like, that's not right. Those are the old regulations and the
old dollar value. They're still carrying it.
But they can't. Those laws are gone. The Cannabis Act does not. Those legislations no longer fucking exist. That's why they rolled in the Cannabis Act. Who is following?
But that's what they're basing the value on is $1,000 per plant. That's got nothing to do with the Cannabis Act.
Exactly, but the Cannabis Act trumps that. That's why they wrote the Cannabis Act. When they legalized cannabis, all the old laws and regulations were tossed out.
But the police will still put an estimate on the value of a plant.
Should be staying.
There's no law against them putting a value, whatever they want to put on the value of the plant.
Oh my God, they're just ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, they must. And the worst thing is that those plants could just be little plants, right?
That just makes me sick. Like, I physically want to fucking throw up.
Yeah.
How long ago is this? Like, have these people been convicted?
Yeah.
They need a lawyer.
Yeah, there's been convictions. Yeah.
Oh my fucking God. Did they have no legal fucking representation?
Let me see if I can find it. There was 82 property owners charged, 166 charges. I mentioned about the guys being charged twice because they kept on growing.
82 property owners bent over and took those charges. You tell me not one of them had legal representation? Like, there's no way. That's just like.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't say anything about conviction rate or anything, but it does mention the fines. Yeah, $800,000 in cannabis-related fines were given out. Yeah, and of that, a total of $220,000 of the fines have been collected by the end of January. So it looks like they're still far behind in collecting money off of anybody. But yeah, yeah, I remember the uproar. People were screaming. I just figured it had gotten defeated and it all went quiet.
It should have been defeated. They should
Yeah.
be. There should have been there. They. I don't even understand, because that
No.
would be a precedent-setting case then. So that means that anybody else will end up taking it up the ass just like that, because either they caved, pled guilty, took the fines, and fucking curd, or because they didn't have proper legal representation. Because it's not easy to get like. There's not too many lawyers in Canada besides the 4 that we actually can put on our hand that actually know the cannabis laws
I
and
have
actually know
to.
how to fight them.
No, we'll have to do. We'll have to do. Now there was a link there, in the story, but it was a dead link. That might have given us some more answers on our questions and concerns.
Like if it wasn't
Hi,
for, like,
Scott. Scott
yeah.
says hi. Scott drops by with a big thumbs up.
Hi, Scott. But like that just makes me sick. Like seriously, it just
Oh,
sounds so
I
wrong.
know.
It sounds like so wrong. Like it just sounds like it just kind of like pled guilty because he didn't have a lawyer, kind of like I did. He didn't have a choice. He didn't have fucking
I'm
$100,000.
trying to think if back
Well, you
then
have
I'd have to do some research on some of our back or on some of the old shows, and because I know there was a time when we had Jack on the show, and I think this came up. I'll have to look up a past show and see if I can find that, because that question was put to him. I remember asking it.
Yeah, like it's just crazy. I just don't understand that. But again, like if
I'll
they didn't
find I'll find it and edit it out. If I
but
find it, I'll edit it out.
paperwork, there could be so many reasons why. Because like maybe they didn't have the proper paperwork. Maybe they weren't patients. Maybe they were growing illegally. Like
Yeah.
we're not there, right? We don't know who these people are. But
No.
82 people in one community sounds
That's like
a bit
yeah.
suspicious to begin with. Like why would I don't know, like I
Would
live
that
in a
be they say 82. Now is that a combination? Do they just lump everybody in together? So the patients as well as the
well, that's
people
what I
who were
mean.
growing illegally were all lumped in
Were
with the
these
same
people like all
numbers.
connected to each other? Was it organized? Was it
No,
not?
I'm just thinking that they have medical patients, they have people who are just growing illegally, and they've just lumped all those numbers in together into one thing, not
That's possible too.
separating them and saying there was 20 patients and there were 66
No,
people
yeah.
who were growing that weren't patients. There's no separation of that.
But in hindsight, if they were growing 4 plants, they wouldn't have been growing illegally either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true.
So
4
out of those
plants, so they would have been growing for more than 4 then, recreationally.
Like I
Yeah.
said, unless you're actually there and see what they have for evidence, like
Mhm.
or else it's all speculation, right?
Yeah. I'll have to
Really unfortunate that they're wasting their time. That a
have to
town
dig
would
into
go
that some more.
that the town people would be that big of douchebags to fucking go out of their way to pass a bylaw so that their
Mhm.
neighbors would be oppressed. Like that just sounds like a bunch of douchebags. Like who does that?
Well, you just never know.
We don't like the smell.
We don't like the smell. That's right. I do see people though do complain with pictures online of the red skies over the towns
Red skies from what? The sun?
from the lighting of commercial grow operations from commercial places with
But not all of
greenhouses.
those are growing weeds. Some of them are growing tomatoes, especially downtown Calgary now. They've made those downtown high rises into hydroponic gardens because they're sitting empty. So they're
Oh,
not
really? What are they doing to food?
they're growing food. They're growing tomatoes and cucumbers and lettuce in those downtown high rises in Calgary. So when you see them all lit up, they ain't growing weed, fuckers. They're growing
What are they
food.
doing growing? People are looking for housing.
We've got them doing that too.
Well,
They're
they could
making
be
they're
growing.
making
Well, they should be living in these places. What about the damage to the property? What about all the mold and the fire risks? Come
don't ask me
on.
this out on CBC.
Well, there's too many risks. It's too dangerous for the place. Just because you change the plant out doesn't change the risk of fire, right?
Where's your inflation? I don't like the smell. I don't like the smell. You're
Yeah.
going in like the smell of that tomato. Oh, it smells like an orange potato.
Yeah, a lot of people do complain about the smell. There's no doubt about that. But,
I love the smell of cannabis. I walk in my house, it smells like weed. It's like, yeah, I'm home.
yeah, I like the smell of fresh cannabis.
Yeah.
So,
I guess it's
that's
an
it.
acquired, kind of like sushi. It's an acquired taste.
Yeah, exactly. So, what can you do? Well, what do you say? Time for break?
Okay.
All right, off we go. When we return, we'll continue our discussion. I got some other things I want to bring up about as well. See who's spending some money on cannabis, who's going to spend some more money on cannabis, and a few other things along the way. So we'll see you in about 3.5 minutes. You're watching the Pace Radio Show. We're live here at paceradio.net and 420pace.ca.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. Open Monday to Friday from 10 till 7 p.m. or by chance. Check out our flags, our t-shirts, plus our hats. And look of that supply of rolling papers, plus much more. We've got bongs and your favorite herbal vaporizers. Look at all the incense we have, as well as for those who collect knives, check out these knives in our collection. And while you're here, stop in to see Shay at the piercing room, where you can get poked by Shay. Daily deals, check them out. Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford, Ontario.
When you have a pain that's reached its peak, Legacy for 20, it's so unique. If organic cannabis is what you seek, here's your trusted partners 7 days a week. Suppository salves, vapes and drops, topicals, edibles, infused pop. Just when life seems like it ain't easy, at Legacy 420, enjoy a pop freezy. Lab tested products, make them the GOAT. Legacy 420 out on your road. Legacy 420 in Tyndonega Mohawk territory. Indigenous organic cannabis at its finest.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace re-rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Hey, we're back. Ready to bring you, last segment? Another half an hour to go here, 25 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So we came back from break last time, and I said that it looked like my fan on my fireplace had slowed down. Well, I looked at it during this break, and it stopped.
That's not good.
Stopped. But I got the fire going again, so
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because you need the oxygen, right? You need that fan to blow the oxygen to keep going. I get it.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just not burning right tonight. But it will. We'll get it going. We'll get it going. The so talking about, let's see, cannabis money spending. I mentioned that before we went to the break. The report says that 7 in 10 cannabis consumers plan to spend more or the same amount of cannabis in 2025. What do you think? You gonna spend more money on cannabis?
Depends on how bad the orange potato gets. Probably.
Well, that could have effect. Exactly. You
how
might not
stuff-
spend any more. You might not spend any more money because you won't have any more money to spend, but you'll get less for what you spent.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I guess it's time to stock up while you got money.
on Monday when we did the news, Cindy and I did the news there, and there was an article out talking about what the effects of the tariffs were going to have, and that included like vape pens and all that type of stuff. It's all stuff that's all the little electronics and things, grow equipment, all your lights.
From the States.
Yeah, it's all brought in.
That stuff wouldn't have tariffs on it.
Coming in from China, it will.
No, we're not being tariffed by China.
Yeah, but I guess it depends on where distributors come from.
If you're getting it from China, there'll be no tariffs on it. Maybe like
No,
I said,
but if it ends up in the States, I guess I'm looking at more Americans will pay more, or if there's a Canadian supplier that's bought something that's coming from the States.
No, not necessarily, because those things aren't going to have tariffs on them.
No, but they've already been applied before when they arrived at the U.S. Sat in the warehouse of the distributor in the U.S.
You don't buy from the U.S. You buy directly from China, and you'd buy.
I'm sure my friends that own stores would like to deal directly with somebody from China, but that's not going to happen all the time.
I'm sure they already do. Temu and all those, and no, I'm serious. Alibaba, 90% of these stores buy from Alibaba or Temu already from China.
Temu is there's problems there too. So.
Right, and again, there's Alibaba. There's several different Chinese distributors that I can even buy from. As a general person, anybody can buy from them. You don't have to
I don't think I'd be buying grow lights off of Temu. Sorry.
Why? They're going to get them from this. They're going to buy them from the Americans. They're going to buy them from the guys from Temu and then sell them to you with a tariff.
I buy from a Canadian store that where their products come from. Actually, my grow lights are from a Canadian company.
Right. So there you go. You don't have to worry about
I bought mine from a Canadian company, but I know other people have lights that weren't built by a Canadian company.
Then I guess you change your lights.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think the tariffs are going to affect that at all. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think if you're maybe in like coal, if you're working a mine, or if you're working in a steel mill, or if you're working in big corporate like that, it'll trickle down eventually. People won't be buying as much, won't be going to restaurants as much. It's going to cut back on everything. It's going to make a lot of people lose their jobs, absolutely. But they're not tariffing all our small items. They're doing the big bang on the 25% on the big stuff, right? 10% on oil, 24% tariffs on steel, and all the big vehicles.
Anybody who's manufacturing anything in the U.S. that's getting it from China and then selling it to us is going to end up with a tariff on it because it's gone into the U.S.
Yeah, depends on what it is, right?
Yeah, and I don't know how many people go to Temu to get their growing equipment, but
no, but if you've got Canadian manufacturers, why would they have to worry?
Well, yeah, but where do they buy their stuff?
If you got Canadian,
if you get it from a Canadian manufacturer, but
right. But I mean, even nutrients, you can get most of our nutrients.
You'd have to research where you're getting it from.
Well, I don't think a lot of stores are buying American, to be fair. Even nutrients, like when I worked at the garden center, all Canadian, even the fertilizers and stuff, right down to the bird seed and all the feed and everything. They don't buy anything from the States. Nothing.
Right. My grow food's from BC. Where they get it from, I'm not sure.
Everything's BC. They've got manufacturers for fertilizer in the Lower Mainland. Nurseryland's got a great big huge, and we've got actually like here in Cranbrook, you can get fertilizer. We've got a plant here that does that too, where they'll mix your fertilizers and your seeds right here. So there's that kind of thing going on, and Alberta's got great big huge seed plants.
Well, yeah, but you know, some people just don't care, or they just, you know, up until this point, just went in and just bought it stuff, right?
I think
Didn't worry about where it came
yes,
from.
but I think honestly, I think the only thing that's uniting us right now is this 21 gun salute and the fucking whole 51 Trump. Like I know on TikTok, like everybody's like buckling down, even the convoy supporters are like saying like we're not, and if they're 51 Trumpers, they're being told to fuck off. It's not pretty on the talk.
Yeah.
And if you're not on TikTok,
it's not going to be good down there. I don't know. I saw some news articles today. I just went,
for everybody. Like this morning, the stock markets had fucking caved. Like they had dropped because of the whole inflation.
They have.
Well, because inflation just doubled in the States since a fucking idiot got in. So their inflation rate just went like this.
Now to change subjects from him to something that's good. Brazil announces a 12-year cannabis cultivation research effort. 12-year study.
Well,
they say Brazil is home to emerging. Okay. They're going to launch a research focused on cannabis cultivation. Oh, that's good.
Brazil's got a lot of good things going on down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they plan on creating a cannabis seed bank and adapting varieties to the Brazilian soil and climate.
Where was I seeing that they've got an old mine somewhere that they're archiving things?
672,000 medicinal patients in Brazil.
I think that was Brazil too.
Wow, that's a big increase. That's a 50% increase compared to 2023.
That's huge.
That's huge. Yeah, a lot of money. They say it's considerable. It's worth lots of money. Billions of dollars.
I was watching something on the documentary channel about, I think it's in Brazil too, where they were actually like, even like the Vatican was taking stuff to this place and fucking putting it underground in some mine. And it was actually like the location that they said what country?
Canada. They hear what we did in Canada.
Pardon me? It might be. No,
we did that in Canada, right? We grew in the mine, right?
Yeah. But no, like, but it was like they wouldn't actually. I don't think they gave the location, but there's like archives from like I don't know, all over the world. It's weird. Because you talk about like, because I know there's a seed bank too somewhere in up in north, beyond. I think it's the Antarctic, where they take all kinds of seeds of different types of flowers and food and stuff, and they heritage and keep them for if ever there is an Armageddon and we
keeps them frozen naturally.
I don't know if they're frozen. I just know that there's like a vault or something up in that area. I was just I said, I was just Googling it because
why would you want? It's a lot warmer.
It's a seed vault.
There's got to be more isolated spots that are warmer than that if they didn't need to be kept cold. But
well, you'd think, right? You'd think that they wouldn't. But I know, like even with cannabis, you'd hope that somebody has one of every or two of every seed that there's every strain. But how many strains have been lost with crossbreeding?
Lots.
You know what I mean? Like, is there even an original indica strain seed anywhere?
So, today, was my medication day where I have to take my treatment for my Crohn's disease.
Right.
My biological drug. And for years, I've been going to clinics and stuff like that, but now I'm on one that I can do here at home.
Right.
So today it arrived in the mail. Okay. Or it comes not by mail, but it's overnight delivery from FedEx. But the size of the vial of medication is smaller than a 5-gram vial of oil, cannabis oil, right?
Yeah.
So to give you an idea on the size of my box, I grabbed a 5-grammer and put it in front of the box. See, there's the vial.
Right,
There's the box. Okay.
right. The box is way bigger than than the actual.
And that's one of 4 sizes. So that's that's just a completely square box. And inside that box is styrofoam and 4 ice packs. And this vial with the pump, it's a little small pump that you can see it here on my leg. Right there. It's just a small pump fit in the palm of my hand, eh? And that's it. It's all it's in that great big box. But it's because it's got to stay cold. Yeah. Gotta stay cold. And if I'm not gonna use it right away, I gotta put it in the fridge, right? And then bring it out for about an hour so it warms up some, and then takes me like 5 minutes. Like today, it was done. Holy shit! Done already? That
nice.
was fast.
Especially when you had to drive into a specialist, sit in the waiting room, wait for however long, get in the chair, get the infusion done, which takes usually an hour. Then you got to get back out. You kind of feel like crap. Then you got to drive home, which is another however long. Like it's a whole day event.
My original infusions that I did for about 8 years, they were a 6-hour day. By the time I drove back and did the infusion, 6-hour day. And in the beginning, Gail would take me to the clinics for the infusions. I wasn't, at that time I wasn't even driving. I was still so sick.
Right.
I wasn't strong enough, so Gail drove.
Right. Again, like I said, it's a whole day affair for just having to do your medicine, right? Once a month, drive, have to do the whole thing, and even driving, like especially when you're not feeling great, like you want to be driving.
Now I do it all here. Wash my hands, get the spot ready, get the vial ready, stick it in the machine.
Alcohol rub and poof,
it's done. Yeah, like 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes for the pump, so it's like a 10 or 15-minute job in total. That's it.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great. That's how far technology has been able to move forward with so many of our diseases that we have to live with chronically. Like it's not a matter of it's ever going to go away. It's not like you're going to wake up one morning and go, "Oh, guess what, Gail? My Crohn's disease is gone. Yeehaw!"
No, that's never going to happen.
So you're living chronically with a disease that you have to deal with on a monthly with medication. That's expensive, and before it was like exhausting, and your quality of life, has extremely improved because of the fact that you can actually just stay at home and not have the whole bullshit.
There's lots of people who can't take the biological drugs, and some people just won't. But I am in some groups that are on these medications, and they are helping. And sure, it's not 100%, which we would like to see, but they are helping people and helping improve the quality of health. And of course, in the threads, there's conversations that come up. I mean, how do you deal with this, or how do you deal with that? And pain is quite often brought up, or a simple question is, what was one thing that you wouldn't do without when it comes to your Crohn's? I said cannabis. Explained why, and
I see that lots in my returned. But the thing is with the group, it's a methotrexate group, and a lot of them are from the UK too, and from the US, and they don't have access. So I keep my comments to kind of like to a double. But once I see somebody else put it in there, then I will comment. I didn't comment on anything. I still don't even know if I can till the end of the 12th because I put that chocolate up. So
you said somebody got banned. You've been put in Facebook
for 2 days. I can like post on my page. I can send messages, but I can't participate in any of my groups or make any calls from my phone. Like from like.
You posted a chocolate.
Because I posted a chocolate and said, "Hey, they're for your Valentine," but it was also one of the pot leaf chocolates.
Spotlight chocolates, but does it
show it? It was a pot leaf chocolate. Like
the pot leaf.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I put up pictures of chocolate shaped like cannabis.
No, I had a community violation. I was fucking. I can't participate in any of my groups. I can't do. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, over a fucking chocolate that's legal? Like, I mean, I didn't even use the word Nazi, and I can use that word. They don't. I put up a fucking marijuana.
And you could lie for the next 20 years on there, and they wouldn't do anything. But put up a chocolate leaf, chocolate pot leaf, look out.
Jesus Christ! And it's legal in Canada. Hello, that's what I said. Hey, Zuckerberg, you're not fact checking anybody else, but you sure fact check that. You got the wrong facts because it's legal in Canada. Duh.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't. That doesn't. They don't care about that end of things.
Oh, but
where it's coming from. So.
No, they'll give pardons to Proud Boys, but they'll put people who smoke weed in jail.
Yeah. What can you do? Let's see, we got here 5 utility bill errors that prove costly for indoor cannabis growers. What do you think? What do you think they would be?
What was that? Utility bills costly?
Utility bills that cost indoor growers. These are mistakes.
You're using fucking 1,000 light fucking metal halides with old ballasts. You're gonna pay like ass. Especially with the new ballasts, and you can do LED, which are like no heat and no. There's barely any cost to those.
Yeah.
Seriously, you can use LEDs all day, and they don't cost you any more than your light bulb.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just going through this.
And everybody goes with the really expensive.
For indoor. I don't understand where this is.
But you're paying $600 for the LEDs, right? About like $600 to $1,000 for those. Back in the day, you were paying that much for your fucking shades and your 11,000 watts and your fucking ballasts when you were getting started. So it's no different, really. Yeah. You're saving yourself bugs to begin with and money.
Yeah, this is weird information on here. It doesn't really talk about anything like that, and some of it doesn't even look like it even reflects when it comes to to the people growing. But there is one here. They talk about the rates, how the rates can fluctuate up and how the rates go up and down. And like I know people that grow through the day, but yet that's the most expensive time to be growing.
No, you put your lights on at night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And just you got like, a room with like, that's got no. But again, too, you're also running your lights sometimes for 18 hours while they're in veg.
Well, that's I know.
Right, so your lights are going to be flicking off at different times. If you're running your
12, 16.
Right, because you go 18, then you go 12. I used to run mine 24, depending on.
Yeah.
My clones always with the grow bulbs were always 24 for the clones, right? I always had them
18,
whatever. So those are just your whatever, right? But then I had my other ones, veg were for 18 hours, and then the other ones were 12 and 12. So you have fluctuations in times too.
Yeah. That's what when I was growing indoors, it was always try to get those lights off through the daytime as quick as possible. Sure. So as soon as I could get them into bloom, then reduce that those hours.
Because it's hotter during the day too, especially in the summertime. If you weren't able to keep your air down, and like if you got your room too hot, you didn't have air conditioning, depending on where you were. We didn't have to run air conditioning so much. We had fans and we were in the basement, right?
People growing in attic spaces, they're cooking.
Oh, there's air conditioners too, like you dang straight. So if you're running air conditionings and fans too, right?
Yep.
So it depends on what time of year it is too, because wintertime you're not running as much. You're not running as much.
But in the summertime, if you're at ground level and it's 95 degrees outside,
I'm running an air conditioner.
And but you're also sucking in that 95-degree air, trying to bring in fresh air into your garden.
Well,
and then you're battling the heat. Even LED lights do produce some heat, but it's not like an HPS.
No, but that outside air coming in will be enough to make your room like overheat. You want to keep
yeah. So
and even if you're not running air conditioning, you want to keep the fans. You want to keep the air flowing. Because if you don't, like those plants need to be moving like a little bit of breeze, right? They like that. Like I don't know what it is, but if they've got no airflow, you're fucking in a jungle of spider mites and all kinds of fucking troubles.
Yeah.
It's you have to keep air flowing. Like you just have to. That's yeah.
Yeah, I had, what was it, 12,000 or 14,000 BTU air conditioner. that
Yeah.
was cool in our room. I say our room because I had a patient growing with me. So
we were in the basement in Coronation, and when we were growing, and when we moved in, it was in October, right? September, October. So we go through the winter, and in the summertime, we just ran squirrel fans, like, and it didn't get
keep
too
the
warm.
air moving. Yeah, bring up the cold air out of the basement.
Yeah, yeah, and like just from the inside the house kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we didn't have an air conditioner, but I also didn't run into any problems. I guess I got lucky, but yeah, but I also was running, like I said, I had like fans going, and I had a sunshine arm. Like I said, that movement of the light too kept the light so they weren't sitting in one position, like beating on the light, like on the leaf. Oh, like I don't know.
It wasn't focused in the one spot all the time.
Right.
Yeah. So you didn't have to move your plants around.
No.
Whereas
I did.
I do. I move mine around.
I did it anyway, and then when they got too tall, I was like taking fish line and holding up the from the roof and like nailing them like the fish line up so they could hold the buds up, right? So they'd be all like all over the place with fish line. So once you had the fish line hanging from the roof, it was kind of hard to move the plant. And you're like, shit, what did I do that for? And it was to keep the buds up so they wouldn't fall on the ground because they're getting heavy, right? So I'd take fish line and hang them from tack them to the ceiling or to the shades, right? Like, then try and move your plants and they're all attached.
Yeah, that's always a pain. Once you start having to support them in some way, you can't.
And I already had them in tomato cages, so I started them in tomato cages anyway. So they were already in tomato cages, but then they got above the tomato cages, and I still have to because they got to be.
Yeah.
I was one of those. Yeah, I grew them until they were 5 feet, and then I put them into bud. I didn't care if I got 3. I wasn't a cash cropper. I wasn't growing them like this and then pulling them all back and then putting them into bud. I wanted nice, big, beautiful plants. I wanted the experience of walking through that, and like
I could walk into mine. I walked right inside mine this summer.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's therapeutic too. Like when they were trying to take our gardens away, I think it was the fact that they were trying to take something that I loved away.
Yeah.
Nobody was going to do that.
Yeah.
That was the first time I've ever been oppressed in my life, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? This isn't happening." Thankfully, we didn't have to do that. But
yeah, exactly. I just kept on growing. I didn't get out the kitty litter.
I didn't quit growing, but I went and got their stupid MMPR. I fucking bought their fucking broken coast shit just so they wouldn't come looking at me.
Right. Yeah. No, I didn't touch any paperwork until I moved.
I had moved. I had no choice.
Yeah. Well, once we moved, then I filled out the ACMPR paperwork.
Yeah. Well, my last ACMPR was 2018. I showed it to you last week.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mine went in. I haven't heard anything back. They would have received it by Monday.
Does it still take 10 weeks to get them back?
I'm gonna find out. I got a picture of the day that I sent it out. I didn't write it down, but I got.
I will be kind of like I don't think I'll be shocked if it does, because I don't think anything that, mind you, like, to be honest, I don't know anybody. I don't see anybody bitching about how long their licenses are taking.
Yeah, neither do I. I don't see anybody complaining about.
But then I'm wondering how many of them don't get them anymore. Then, like, are they just not getting them?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, no, they're still getting them because the numbers are going up.
Ooh, good.
Yeah. There's a slight increase in the numbers, but it's not like in the old days.
No, we had a growth influx, so we had like 10,000, and then we went up to 40,000. So we had like a 30,000 influx in like a year, and that's what made the government go, "What the fuck's going on here?"
Yeah.
It's so hard. We were like signing people like fucking 90, like,
oh, big time.
Like, I don't know, like, I signed a lot of people up myself. I know that Deb and Ross did. I know that
I did. There's lots of people.
When I was in Tabor, before I even met up with Ross and Deb, I would had cameramen doing them on my computer too, like in Tabor, right?
Right.
Like, I signed people up when I was in Tabor after I got back from doing my licensing in. So like, I can't even tell you. But I know there was an influx of about 30,000 patients within about a year.
There was a huge increase all of a sudden. I remember being surprised.
Well,
by
even they
that.
were, it was because they went like, "What the fuck happened here?" And that's when they started looking at all the doctors and started asking questions about all
Asking
these
questions.
and that's when all of a sudden the military was under fucking scrutiny because they were spending all this money on fucking the mill. And this was Harper's last year. Okay, let's
Yeah.
be. This was the year. This was 2016. No, it was 2013, 2014. 2013, 2014, he pulled his shit. Because it was the last year he was in power because Trudeau got elected in 2015 because we were in Montreal, right?
Yeah.
Writing the cannabis laws in Montreal in 2014. It was 2013 that Harper was pulling his shit. Because I got my license in 2012. And then 2013 he said he was going to fucking pull our grow licenses. And we went to court.
And won.
And we were still in court when Trudeau got elected. The Liberals just didn't.
They stopped the court challenges. Yeah,
they didn't go back to an appeal because we had
Right.
won the case. It was and then it was put into an injunction, and then it was left there. The
Left
Liberal
that way.
government never touched it again. They just left it.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, we're not challenging. That's left over from the conservative years.
Yep, and it was left alone. Thank God. Thank the ganja gods. Which is one good thing.
Alrighty. That's just about an hour. You got anything else you want to bring up before we say goodbye?
We haven't discussed this yet, but I'd like to change the time of my show because I'm apparently not making it for 10 a.m.
You noticed that. I noticed that as well.
So I was going to go back to my 12 o'clock because I went to 2:10 because a kid going to
You're
school.
gonna go back to 2. You're gonna take your show back to 2 p.m. Eastern.
Go back to noon because that way I'm up, right? Like, and it's not a matter of, like I said, it was because of Taven going to school at 12:30 that I had
Right.
to change it. Well, now he's not going to school at all. He's doing online, so I don't have to go.
You
So
don't
yeah.
need to. Correct.
Like I said, I've been working myself around him, and I apologize, but that's
Well-
and at 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm either just getting up or, or it's like Jesus Christ, like and I'm racing. So yeah, if you don't mind, I'd like to take my show back to the noon time.
Yeah, you can have it back at 2 o'clock.
Okay, so I'll be live. I'll be live Monday on Cannabis and Coffee with Marijuana at noon Mountain Standard Time. And I'm off like because it's my birthday Friday, so I'm having kind of 80s influence party. If anybody shows, it's one of those. If you show, you show. If you don't, you don't. Because I know everybody's.
Yeah, so if you're in Tamara's area, stop in.
Well, I'm like I said,
it's just too far for me for a day trip.
Yeah, it is, and I get that. And I've had friends from Calgary say if the roads weren't going to be the shits, even my daughter's canceled.
Yeah, there's that too. Correct.
And I don't expect anybody to drive here, like, and kill themselves to get here, but whatever. And like I said, I've been that kid her whole life that has been told, "Sorry, we have other plans."
Yeah,
so,
well, you know what? You know what you can do? Have an online party.
Well, that's what my friend Tracy said. She goes, "Go online on TikTok and have an online party." So I've got decorations that are supposed to show up tomorrow and I was gonna make food, and I thought, no, if you're coming after 8, I'm not baking food. But I did buy a whole bunch of 80s inspired candy today. So I bought fun dips, and I bought the rock ring or the pop rings, and I bought some nerds, and I'm going to set out a bunch of candy and some chips because everybody, ketchup chips and dip, and that's it.
How many people can you put into a messenger room?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
20.
Well, there you go. Have a virtual birthday party. You couldn't make it. It's snowing. Join me. Here's my room.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like I said, I had another friend suggest that today. Do a live on TikTok and have a bunch of people come in, which I can do too. And like I said, I didn't get a crown. But
right? Yeah. I don't know anything about crowns on TikTok. I don't know. I don't use TikTok.
No, it's just a joke because I'm going to be 55, right? So. You get a princess crown when you're 50. When you're 55, you get the intermediate, but when you're 60, you get the queen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't know.
I didn't know about that either until just recently. I was told.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's all these new fandango trends, I guess. I don't know. I'm not that trendy.
Beats me.
I'm not that trendy either. It's like, oh, I didn't know about that. Really? They're talking about all this stuff, and I'm going, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. All right. We shall go. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, same locations, all that stuff. And who knows, maybe we'll have a guest. Just never know. And other than that, thanks to our sponsors, legacy420.com, Limestone City Hydroponics.ca, the Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, as well as At-Eze.ca. thanks to everybody for tuning into the program. And other than that, thank you. And we'll see you. We'll see you maybe tomorrow maybe tomorrow morning when I do the news, if I can still have a voice left. All right. Bye bye.
Good
Till then.
night.
Let's share PACE everywhere. That way it can help create peace. People everywhere advocating cannabis education. You're listening to the PACE Radio Network here at paceradio.net.